It's actually time for a little more fun right now. We're going to do something really interesting. This is one of my favorite segments of the entire week because I win normally. And that's usually why it's one of my favorite segments. I am actually going to be a participant in this segment. I'm just one of the guys in this segment. And Michael Schuessler's come back on the show because he is going to be the host of a game we call Who Would You Rather? And I'm going to play against Lance, who I absolutely positively destroyed last week. I'm not bragging. I'm being humble about the entire experience, but it was embarrassing. So, Michael, would you please explain the show to our friends at home?
All right. John, you only won once, so let's pump the brakes here on your goat of Who Would You Rather.
Hang on. How many times have we played?
We've only played once.
And how many times did I win?
You're 1 for 1.
I 1 for 1. That is an incredible winning percentage.
It is. Let's see if you can keep it up because I have 9 questions for you today, for both of you.
9.
Yeah, 9.
That's more.
That's more. No, we can cut it down. We can cut it down if it's getting too long. But the object of the game, I will present both John and Lance with a Who Would You Rather question, and then they will give me their answer, and then I get to decide who had the better answer, and I will award them 1 point for answer.
I'm ready.
All right, everyone. People watching at home, feel free to comment your answer and briefly explain why. Or you could even comment on why you like John's answer or why you like Lance's answer and why you think they should get the point. Doesn't mean they will. It's all up to me. Here we go.
That seems unfair.
First question. It is little. Who would you rather start at quarterback for your squad in Week 17? Brandon Allen or CJ Beathard?
Who's first?
John, you got.
Well, look, I'm gonna go with Allen, and quite simply because he's got weapons. Cincinnati actually played really well the last couple of weeks with him as the quarterback, and that team is starting to feel like, you know what, we can do some things on offense that maybe we didn't think we could do without our rookie star quarterback. They're starting to realize that is a system that they can work around, and the team itself is feeling a lot more confident than it was. So I'm not just going to go with the fact that I like the quarterback. I'm going to go with the fact that I like the scenario. He's got the weapons. He's got an offense that looks like it's purring along, and they're able to run the ball a little bit. So if you're asking me who I'd rather have in this scenario, I'm going to say Allen.
Lance.
Okay, on the contrary, I would rather go with C.J. Beathard.
Wrong.
So he has proven that he does have the experience and he has won recently. So scenarios may be good, but I'd rather have someone who wins. And C.J. Beathard has proven recently that he is a winner with the recent win of the 49ers against their recent opponent, the Cardinals.
Give me the point.
Those are both good points. I do have to go with John because Brandon Allen almost threw for 400 yards last week. All right,
yes.
He was lighting it up a little bit on those Houston Texans. So
I love this game because there are no right answers. There's only good explanations.
That's right. But Lance, you're still right there. You're right there. All right, but that's 1 point for John. All right,
it's 1 for me.
Next question: who would you rather see win the NFC and the Super Bowl this year? Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, or Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Lance, you first.
Okay, so this will be a sentimental pick. I'd rather have Drew Brees win the NFC to have one more shot in the Super Bowl because, let's face it, doesn't have much years left, and he just had rib injuries, and we don't know how the recovery period is going. He is playing right now, but we're not sure how fully recovered he will be after this season, if there will be another season after this. So this could be the last hurrah for Drew Brees. So I'd rather have him hoist the NFC trophy and, if possible, win a Super Bowl and then ride off in the sunset.
All right, well, I'm going to go through a process here that's going to give us an answer, and the process is actually very simple. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take Tampa out of the equation. If Tampa were to win, it would be a bad precedent for the rest of the NFL because Tampa would have purchased a championship. They paid for a quarterback. They paid for a tight end. They brought some guy out of prison to play wide receiver. They have done everything possible to try to build that team through as much money as they could spend. And people forget that they spent a bunch of money on LeGarrette Blount to come in. I'm not LeGarrette Blount.
Leonard
from Jacksonville. I forgot his name.
Fournette.
Leonard
Yeah, Fournette. I was calling him LeGarrette Blount. It's the same kind of runner. They spent a bunch of money on Fournette to come and be their backup running back. So let's throw them out of the equation. Now let's down to New Orleans and Green Bay. New Orleans, I love New Orleans. I love the way New Orleans is put together. I love the way New Orleans has structures themselves. The only problem I have with New Orleans is that their quarterback has stayed a little bit too long, and he's had his moment in the sun. People are always, and myself included, are always putting Aaron Rodgers in a possible greatest of all time conversation. He cannot be in that conversation until he wins another Super Bowl. He has to win at least 2 Super Bowls in order to be in that GOAT conversation, in my opinion. You can't go back and say Dan Marino is the greatest quarterback of all time. The guy went to 1 Super Bowl. So you got to give Aaron Rodgers another shot at the Super Bowl. That team is made to win today. Aaron Rodgers is the MVP of the NFL. So if you want me to pick one team, I'm going to say Green Bay. I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers. Booyah.
Although John's explanation was far too long, I will give him the point there because I agree. Probably
38 seconds
for that point. All right, John, he's up 2-0. Come on, Lance, you got this.
Oh, dominating. Come on,
Lance.
give
Yeah,
up
we're
now.
trying to back.
All right. Same question, but for the AFC. Would you rather see Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills or Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and the Tennessee Titans win the AFC and the Super Bowl? John, you first.
I'm going to go first. Okay, so here's what I've been saying all along. I really like Buffalo. I really like what Buffalo's done. I like the team that Buffalo's put together. My problem with Buffalo is I believe they're too young and they don't have the experience. Now, would I like to see them go to the Super Bowl? I don't think the storyline's there. I believe the storyline is there for Ryan Tannehill. I believe the storyline is there for Derrick Henry. I believe you can look at that storyline and say to yourself, this is a guy that nobody wanted, talking about both of them. Nobody wanted Derrick Henry. They thought he was too tall. He ran too upright. He lasted all the way to the second round. And even then they were like, maybe he'll be a complimentary back, more of a goal line guy, a little high to go in the second round. Tannehill was a washout in Miami. They literally threw that guy to the side. He signed with the Titans as a backup quarterback and somehow made his way all the way to the number 1 spot. Then you look at their coach. Nobody thought that guy could be a coach. He kicked around as an assistant coach for the longest time, doing tackling drills with his players. Everyone was like, he's a little too immature to be a coach. But you know what? All 3 of those guys have put together a great team there. They're a little weak on defense, but if you're asking me who I'd rather see make it to the Super Bowl, I'm going to say the Titans because they've got some stories there.
Lance?
Okay, so this is the first time that I'm going to side on the same side, and I would have to choose the Titans. But for not the background reasons or the background story reasons, it would be nice for a pass-happy league to see a Super Bowl competitor that is run-heavy, that is a throwback to the old school of how football once was played. And it's more of the ground game, running
Just
game.
give my points.
And then some play action to be able to throw some passes. So if, for example, Tennessee would be able to win the Super Bowl, and given that the NFL is a copycat league, then that will be a testament for the other teams that maybe we also need a big back. So the big back revolution might come back if Tennessee will be able to reach the Super Bowl.
I do love that point, Lance. John, I would have given you the point because you brought up Mike Vrabel, who I absolutely love, but then you interrupted Lance. So that's
I didn't interrupt.
That's not a point.
I didn't interrupt.
And then a minus point, and that's how the game goes. It's still 2-0. You're still in this, Lance. You're still in this.
Yeah, still having
foul.
Still in this. 2-0. Next question. Lance, you're going to start with this. Don't interrupt.
Okay, let's go.
John, careful. Don't interrupt now. Who would you rather build an offense around? Jalen Hurts or Tua Tagovailoa?
I would have to pick Jalen Hurts because Tua Tagovailoa hasn't proven that he's willing to take risks during the passing game. Whenever there's a passing opportunity, he doesn't even throw long passes that much. So I'd rather have someone who can stretch the field both with his feet and with the long passes. And I believe that Jalen Hurts is that guy. Tua at times seems to be scared, seems to be frightened of taking turnovers or committing turnovers. That's why he's not willing to throw passes onto tight pockets and even make long bombs. So I'd rather have someone who has confidence from day one, rather, and I would rather have Jalen Hurts build my offense around him.
John.
So look, I'm actually going to agree with what Lance Lance chose, but I'm going to do it for a different reason.
Okay.
I believe that Tua has been handed far too much in his life. He became the savior in Alabama. They gave him the starting job. They never looked back. He was the savior in Alabama who screwed up his hip, and they still drafted him 5th overall. Jalen Hurts is my kind of quarterback because he's my kind of guy, actually. That guy's been through a ton. He was in Alabama. They sat him in the national championship game, and he never got his job back. Then he had to go earn another job in another place where he played fantastically. Then they said, you're not a quarterback. Maybe you're like a gadget kind of guy. Maybe you're a wide receiver. You're a good enough athlete for us to take in the second round and kind of play around with, but you'll never be a great quarterback. In fact, we're going to draft you to a team that's already got a franchise quarterback. That's how little we think of you as a possible franchise quarterback. Well, you know what? Now he's a franchise quarterback. He's worked his way through adversity. He's got the team on his side. He's playing really, really well for a guy who's only played 3 games. If you want me to build around a team, I'd rather build around a real leader, someone who's been through adversity, someone who's been through the fire, came out the other side. Give me Jalen Hurts any day.
Those are both great points. Lance, you did bring up the confidence that Jalen Hurts have. I love that swagger. That is what you need in a quarterback. I don't see that with Tua. I don't get that just that leader attitude. So I'm going to give that point to you, Lance. It's 2-1.
Wait a minute. I said that.
No,
I
it's
said it after Lance. Lance already
I
said
did
it.
not say it after Lance. I said it before Lance. He just took my answer.
No,
But
he
you
answered
agreed.
first.
What's the score here?
It's 2-1. John is winning.
All
Here we
right.
go, Lance. All right. Who would you rather build a defense around? Aaron Donald or TJ Watt? And why? Lance, you first. Actually, John, you first.
Aaron Donald
Or TJ Watt.
or TJ Watt.
And don't be
Well, this is an
biased.
easy answer for me, but I will tell you this. You got to fix your camera. I don't know what the heck happened, but we're now looking at the wall.
My camera?
Yeah. Your camera's messed up. Let's add you back again. Yeah, it's all right. Anyway, you can fix it. I'm going to take Aaron Donald all day long. Aaron Donald, to me, is the most unstoppable beast in the NFL. There's no one like Aaron Donald. He's 285 pounds of shredded muscle. And not that there's not guys like that in the NFL, but he is someone you have to game plan around all the time because he comes up the middle. And most quarterbacks are gonna back up and they want space in the pocket. They don't want you at their feet. They don't want you falling around their knees. Aaron Donald comes right up the middle, gets right in your face. He's the most he's the biggest monster in the NFL in my opinion. And he's also younger. So if I could build around one guy, I would build around Aaron Donald.
Lance?
Okay, so I always treat defense correlated to attitude. Defense, although you should have talent, you should also have attitude. And I'd rather have TJ Watt over Aaron Donald because he brings the energy, he brings the intensity. He brings an extra swagger for the defense that rubs off to 10 other people on that side of the ball. So Aaron Donald, yes, he's great, but he's more of a silent type kind of worker. And he's leading by example. But sometimes you just have to pick up your teammates emotionally, especially when you're down or you're trying to catch up and you're trying to make a big defensive play. And that's where a TJ Watt comes in, bringing the intensity, bringing the energy, and then just giving the extra kick to make that big play, or be it an interception or a big stop. So I'd rather have TJ Watt leading my defense because of reasons beyond talent, more importantly, the intensity that he brings every time.
That was actually a good point.
That is a good point, Lance. It's tied up 2-2. Attaboy.
Finally, something that John agrees with me.
Yes.
Yeah, you
yes.
made one good point the whole time. I got to give it to you if you make a good point.
You did make a good point. John, you made a good
Thank
point
you.
about
Yep.
Aaron Donald being younger, and Aaron Donald is an absolute force. But I actually appreciate you, John, not siding with your boy TJ Watt. So that would have been nice, but still point to Lance. Now, the next question. Who would you rather ring in the new year with, have a beer with, and ring in the new year? Russell Wilson or Phillip Rivers? That's you first.
Okay, this is a difficult question, but I would still rather have a beer with. I would still rather have a beer with Russell Wilson. I know we just have discuss him and disgusted by what he did earlier. But with Philip Rivers, if we'll have beer, we might have a Bible study afterward for like 3 hours. With Russell Wilson, if I get intoxicated and his wife gets intoxicated, I might get lucky. So I'd rather have Russell Wilson a beer with Russell Wilson for God knows how many, and shoot my shot for all we know with his wife.
Hey, love it, Lance. All right, top that, John.
No, this is completely unfair. This was like he said something perverted, so you're going to love it. But here's the reality of it. And this is the truth. I would so much rather spend time with a guy like Philip Rivers than I would with a guy like Russell Wilson, because I think Philip Rivers, first of all, I'm not even sure if he drinks. So part of the fun for me would be like, just have one sip. Just try it. Just see if you like it. Just you want some wine? I'm sure Jesus blessed it. No, but and the other thing would be Philip Rivers to me seems like a genuine person. That gummit, I'm not going to swear thing is a real guy thing. So for me, if I'm going to have a beer with somebody, I want to have a beer with a real guy. Russell Wilson is a fake person. Philip Rivers is a real guy, a real dude. You could sit around, talk some football with, talk about some cool things about life, ask him some interesting stuff. And I don't think Russell Wilson would provide me with a real moment in the entire time we were sharing that beer. So if I have a choice, it's Philip Rivers all the way.
Lance, while I do love the image of Russell Wilson, Sierra Menage a Trois there, I'm going to have to go with John because I would like to see what Philip Rivers looks like, a little loosened up, couple of beers deep. I'd like to see, Philip Rivers in that style. So John gets the point there. All right. Here is my last one, though.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I have a couple more, but this will be the last one unless we have more time. All right, so you're out, you're drinking your beer with Philip Rivers, okay? Yeah. So who would you rather, babysit for you while you're out partying on New Year's Eve? Would you rather have Tyreek Hill or Antonio Brown?
Oh, God. Jesus.
One of them's got to house sit and babysit your kids for you. Which one?
My God. Who's first?
You go first. I got first last.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nobody wants to answer this one. I'm gonna say I'm gonna let Uncle AB babysit the kids, and here's why.
Yeah.
Because before I leave the kids there, I'm gonna make sure that Uncle AB's pumped up on his antidepressants and is feeling kind of good. And then I'm only gonna go out for a little bit. Because I think the odds of me coming back and Tyreek Hill not breaking my kid's arm are probably pretty slim. But the worst thing AB is going to do is maybe get himself arrested. To my knowledge, he's never done anything that was physically harmful to his children. Now, emotionally, they're completely screwed. But it's one night. How bad can you do with my kid?
Lance?
It's a terrible question.
Yeah, it's the hardest who would you rather question that I've ever heard of. But I would like my kids to grow tougher. I would like my kids to learn with every experience that they face. So I'd rather have Antonio Brown babysitting, and who knows what will happen. But at least at the end of the session, I would have kids that are fiercer, more confident possibly of who they are. And just smash mouth kids with that is tackling life's hardest problem. So I guess that experience will only come with Antonio Brown and not with Tyreek.
I knew you have to make a decision, Michael, but I think Jack Sparrow actually had the best answer from the chat. I'd rather hop on a time machine and just not have kids.
Jack Sparrow gets the point because that is correct. Why would either of you leave any of your kids with Tyreek Hill or Antonio Brown? That's just irresponsible. Come on.
More than fair.
That's just irresponsible.
More than fair. So what was the final score?
The final score is 2-2.
What?
But I do have one more. Final one, and we'll settle.
Okay, come on.
Okay,
give me a shot at this. Give me a shot at retaining my championship.
Here's a real one here. Who would you rather tackle? Derrick Henry or DK Metcalf? And why? Lance, you're first.
I would have to go with DK Metcalf because whenever you try to tackle Derrick Henry, it seems like a lot of your bones just crack and just gets displaced. And even if you try to tackle Derrick
Got him.
Henry, the stiff arm can get you. The stiff arm can break you, and you wouldn't have any luck. So DK Metcalf would be a better option to tackle.
All right, go ahead, John.
Okay, he's right and he's wrong. I would much rather tackle DK Metcalf. Now, both of these guys are physical freaks at their position. Both of these guys are probably about the same weight, about 240. But why would I rather tackle DK Metcalf than I would tackle Derrick Henry? It's really simple. It's all about science. Derrick Henry's going forward. DK Metcalf, more times than not, has to stop and catch the ball, which means that he will be either not moving or his back will be to me. So when I tackle him, it'll be much easier to tackle someone who's either not in motion, doesn't have a running head start, or had to stop, or is not looking at me. So my shots on Metcalf are going to be much cleaner and met with much less resistance than they'd ever be met with Derrick Henry, who's got a 3-yard head start coming out of the backfield. Championship.
I'm a little disappointed that neither of you took Derrick Henry. Like, where's your fighting spirit, boys? Where's your challenge? Yeah, I mean, come
Here's
on.
the challenge. After he took DK Metcalf, all I had to do was come up with a better answer than him, and I could win. That was it.
John gets the point. I'm sorry, Lance. John wins. Damn it.
It's okay. Yeah, I love my life. That's why I wouldn't take Derrick Henry.
Do we have any championship music? That's not it. No, that's not it. No championship music. I need to get something that's like, oh my God, you're the champion. Well, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was actually pretty awesome. Listen, I'm going to bring you guys back because we're going to do a New Year's resolution at the end. So I'll give you some time to think about your New Year's resolution, and I'm going to kick you off the show just for a second here because we're going to dive into our mailbag really quick.